Hi Fad Campers, it's Grace here and I have some new stand updates I'd love to tell you about. If you're based in the UK, I will be doing some dates in July and August and I'd love to see some of you there. I'll be in Leeds doing a work in progress with Amy Annette on July 4th in the Hyde Park Book Club. I'll be in Brighton on July 6th with Alison Spittle in the Comedia Comedy Club, and I'm going to be doing my own work in progress show in Glasgow on July 12th at Good Egg Comedy. Also then, I will be at the Edinburgh Fringe, of course, for the entirety of August, from July 30th to August 24th. I'll be at the Assembly George's Square, the Crate, 10 to 3 every day. Would love if you could tell anyone you know who's going to be at the Edinburgh Fringe to come see my show. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Hi guys, Grace here, your favourite presenter from Fad Camp. As you well know, I am a stand-up comedian and I'm doing a few dates around the UK. So if you're in any of these areas, please come see my show if you can. I would love to see you there. I'm doing some work in progress shows, which you'll get to see me do all new material, try and fail on stage, but we'll have a great time. So I'm going to be in London. I'm doing Top Secret March 6th. That's Top Secret, so you can check it out. Angel, I'm doing April 11th, and then I'm doing another show on Top Secret June 15th. If you are in Scotland, I'm doing the Glasgow International Comedy Festival May 21st, and Brighton. I'm going to be there in Brighton. I'm doing the Brighton Fringe May 30th. You can find all of these details on my Instagram page. That's Grace Mulvey Comedy. You can see the Linktree account there, and you just click on the link in my bio and it'll have all the details. Thanks.
What's the best way to reduce? Eat plenty or starve yourself?
30 pounds in just 18 weeks. Jenny Craig totally worked.
I love to eat, but overeating made it impossible to lose weight.
My body wants bread, and I'm going to give my body what it wants.
Oh my God.
So I lost
Naturally.
Medical studies prove that overeating is the number one reason for weight gain. If you need to lose weight, use safe and natural springs away and bring your weight down without the use of unsafe.
Welcome to Fad Camp, a podcast that throws a comedy eye over our societal obsession of diets. Now, a little disclaimer, we are not health experts, but we are fad diet connoisseurs. I'm your host, comedian Grace Mulvey.
And I'm your co-host, Conor Dowling.
Welcome to Fad Camp.
Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Fad Camp.
Welcome back.
Guys, obviously before we get into the episode, we got to remind you of Head Stuff Plus. We got it because we want to. Head Stuff Plus, all the bonus content for all of the Head Stuff shows, including Fad Camp, merch discount, freebies. We got some Fad Camp merch. We're going to come out with more. We have mugs at the moment. Go to headstuff.org to get that. Ad-free listening. Sign up on headstuffpodcast.com for little as €5 a month. You won't be sorry. Now listen, today's episode. Conor, I'm going to ask you right straight away. You're a man of the people. Okay?
That's
young,
what I always
cool.
say about myself.
You know Gen Z, don't you? You've heard of them?
I've heard of Gen Z, yes.
Very good. You sound like you do. Have you ever heard of the term Almond Mom?
You know, no, I have not.
That was a great response.
No, that's a genuine.
So you actually never heard of the term Almond Mom? That's so funny.
I'm just curious about your pronunciation. Like, would you not go more almond? Like, if you were drinking, like, if you put almond milk in your tea.
Almond milk.
Almond milk.
Almond milk.
But I feel like it's American is being almond.
Yeah, so I feel like because it's Almond Mom and it's mom.
Right, it's not almond mom.
It's a kind of US term.
Okay.
So because I do actually make a joke about almond milk in my set, my stand-up set, and I go almond milk.
Sure, okay.
But for the Americans, Almond Mom.
Okay,
Almond Mom. Mum for the Irish. Almond Mum. All right? Almond Ma.
Okay, now, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Or like a cashew ma. Have you ever heard of a cashew ma? Right, so Almond Mom.
Okay.
Almond Mum, now you've really messed up my head. Anyway, it's a popular term on social media, especially TikTok, like super viral on TikTok. Okay, we're all the young people.
On TikTok.
You are not on TikTok. You're like, I don't know, chiseling into a cave wall or something. I don't know what the elders do.
That's how I get my messages out there.
The term is used to refer to parents who have unhealthy, strict diets that they force on their children. I know. I have to say, some of it is unintentional. So it kind of sometimes is like, criticizing or like kind of highlighting parents who themselves are so steeped in diet culture, particularly mothers that might, like, we all know this, like our mother's generation, like, they tended to grow up in the time when going to Weight Watchers was completely the norm. Being like magazines criticizing your body, like that was standard. And it was like, there was all these magazines of like celebrities and they'd be in bikinis and they'd be like just circles over their bellies. Like that's kind of what the older generations grew up with. So some of them are so steeped in diet culture that they basically hand it down to their children, intentionally or not. So they're handing down toxic diet culture habits that they're steeped in. So that's what the term it really refers to, right?
And so the grand tradition continues.
Oh, generational trauma. How nice
it's
it is
alive
to see
and
you
well.
again.
It's just in a different form. Okay.
Well, the hashtag Almond Mom.
How have I not come across this?
Went viral on TikTok, thanks in part to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum, Yolanda Hadid. Have you ever heard of her?
I have heard this name, yes.
Okay. So you probably know Gigi Hadid or Bella Hadid's name.
Yes.
Anwar Hadid?
No.
Okay. So Yolanda Hadid is a Dutch-born American TV personality and former model, best known, as I said, from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But she is the mother to incredibly famous supermodels, Gigi Hadid and Bella Hadid.
Okay.
Anwar Hadid, I think, is her son. I hadn't heard of him either, but apparently he is.
Okay.
I don't know, very good looking. Well done for him. But the reason
Kudos, Anwar.
Kudos. Well done to you, winning the
Tell
genetic
us your
lottery.
secret.
Was it many a fad diet you were on?
He's like, potato diet, like all the way.
The guy is just hiding potatoes on the runway,
That's
constantly
how he does it.
nonching down.
Definitely heard those names, but I'm proud to say for all of the trash TV I have consumed in my days, I've managed to avoid the Real Housewives shows.
I've never watched the Real Housewives. And what's funny is, like, it's not that I'm like bragging about that, because I do think there are like
they do permeate pop culture though, and like
I know their faces,
and their names, because they've become, a lot of them become sort of celebrities or entrepreneurs of their own right. Like I know there was at least one of them on like episodes of Shark Tank and stuff like that. You know, like the American Dragon's Den. You know,
Connor's like, so LA now.
Yeah, well, forget about Dragon's Den UK. It's
it's over. So Real Housewives, I'm not really aware of it myself, but I do know the Hadid family. Like, you know, I've heard of them, and Bella Hadid and Gigi Hadid were always like these people that I just be like, the Hadids.
Yeah, totally. I can't picture them or know what they do, but those names are familiar.
They're there. They're in the zeitgeist. But a video compilation featuring old clips from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, like from around 2014, show Yolanda talking on the phone to her then teenage daughter, Gigi. And basically, the Almond Mom
was born.
Viral.
The Almond Mom came forth.
Basically, from this clip, right, Yolanda essentially is very, very into diet culture. She wants her daughters on diets. She's always kind of like in the show. A compilation clip was done of the amount of times she would talk to her daughters about their diets, about what they should eat, what they shouldn't eat. In this clip, I'm going to show you here, this is where the Almond Mom thing was born. Gigi is on the phone. Or Gigi's feeling weak, and Yolanda's husband is like, oh, she's not feeling well. And Yolanda has just come out of surgery. And I think Gigi was fasting, and basically Yolanda gives her a call, okay? And this is the advice that she gives her. So I'm going to show you the clip now.
Hi, Mommy, how are you? I'm okay, I just woke up. How are you? I'm feeling really weak. I have a couple of almonds. Chew them really well because your stomach is not... Okay, I love you too, baby. Be safe. Bye. Bye, baby.
So to give some context, Gigi calls up. She doesn't call up. She's basically been on a fast. She's feeling weak. Yolanda
she's in hospital, or is a medically supervised fast? Is that what she's on, or is she?
No, Yolanda's the mother.
But she's in hospital.
She's in hospital recovering from surgery. She's just woken up from surgery.
Right.
Gigi basically has been on a fast. Apparently she wants to go on a horse, but doesn't feel like it's safe. She's not feeling well.
Yeah.
Yolanda calls her, and Gigi says, "I had half an almond," and then Yolanda says, "Have a couple of almonds, chew them really well."
Right.
So that was her advice, and that's when the Almond Mom.
Wow.
Phenomenon came. That clip just went super viral.
That's crazy.
Isn't it mental? And now Almond Mom is like such a term for the type of mother who is steeped in diet culture and basically kind of like inflicts it on her kids, really. Yolanda, after defended her controversial comment in the clip in an interview with People magazine. explaining that her words were taken out of context in the scene where she was recovering from surgery and told her model daughter Gigi to have a couple of almonds. She said this was a small clip from Housewives. Gigi was calling because she wasn't feeling good and I apparently said half asleep, have 2 almonds, Hadid told People. I don't even remember why 2 or what, she said. There was no rhyme or reason to it. It's such a silly narrative that is out there. That is nothing to do with the reality of our lives. Okay? Now, that comment, you could say, is fair. Like, some people say mad stuff coming out of surgery. So you could be like, maybe she was just saying for some reason something mental to her daughter when she was coming out of surgery. However, there's a lot of evidence to show that Yolanda, this isn't the first time that she's kind of given out this sort of advice. So that's why people don't sort of stand up to it. But I will say, she acknowledged her now infamous advice by posting a TikTok of herself snacking on almonds while doing a variety of activities, using the hashtags worst mom ever, #almonds. So, she's sort of making fun of the whole thing herself, okay? Yeah. But I kind of just want to do a little bit of background of what she has said to her daughters before and why this mightn't really be funny, if you know what I mean. Here she is talking to Gigi about her diet.
I'm so excited for the food. Pretty much all the food that we're eating is like a heart attack in a meal. It's like, but it's going to be so good.
It's good. You can have one night of being bad, right?
Yeah, I was actually really good this week.
Yeah. And then you got to get back on your diet, though. Because, in Paris and Milan, they like the girls just a tad on the skinny side. Girls.
So what she's saying there is, like, obviously Gigi is a model, so it's Gigi's birthday. That night, and she's talking about the food she's excited to eat. And she says, yeah, one night, but then you have to be good again because in Milan, they like the girls a bit skinnier.
Yeah.
Like, this is the
Milan,
thing.
the home of pizza.
The home of pizza. Like, what a devilish thing to do. Be like, you have to be really skinny, but the home of pizza. Again, that's like, why people probably weren't buying that much when she said, this was a kind of once-off thing. Like, here's another clip. And I think what's sad about this is, like, obviously there's, the Almond Mom thing. Like, there's a lot of very funny videos up on TikTok of people, like, quoting their moms or, like, showing videos and stuff. Right. And some of it can be really humorous. Mm-hmm. But a lot of it just stings of, like, it's sad. Yeah. Like, it's so sad. I want to show this bit here because I think it's, like, so telling of, like, women in sports. This is Yolanda talking about how Gigi, and Gigi as well, Gigi's love for volleyball, and Yolanda had a problem with it.
Volleyball is a very masculine sport. Modeling is a very feminine thing.
I know.
And that means sometimes we have to give up things that we love to do. You have to make a choice.
Modeling is my job. Volleyball is my sport.
So their bodies are big and bulky and, they eat like men. I wanted her to develop as a woman. I thought that my daughter was lesbian.
So let's just, the homophobia straight away that her...
I just want to say, I don't know any of these people. I'm like looking at them and like, do not recognize, somehow I know the name Gigi Hadid.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these people going, like, when is this show from? Or when is those clips like from?
2014. Like, what? Like 10 years ago.
It looks like something from like 20 years ago.
I know. I think what's really sad about that though is how much the sports thing rings true. Like, there's a whole thing in sports, in particular, this isn't even like the fact that Gigi's a model who happens to like a sport, right? What sports do to your body and how then girls get affected differently to boys. Like, a lot of female swimmers might find that they drop doing swimming because it makes their shoulders more muscular.
I was going to say,
broader,
I've spoken to people, like there was an actress I knew who loved boxing. She loved it, and she's like, I had to stop because it was making my shoulders too like masculine and broad, And
it's so disappointing because it's just that thing of like, our beauty standards for women are very specific sometimes, particularly for models. And it has to be almost like this hourglass figure, yet having no fat in any other places. And I think, like, then you look at sports itself, and I know we're going to do another episode on this because we got an amazing letter in or email in from a listener, and I really wanted to talk about it. But I remember briefly talking about how Serena Williams for so long dominated in tennis because she's an absolutely incredible athlete and trained really hard and worked really hard, and also embraced the fact that she was muscular.
Yeah.
And people had a huge problem with it. She was criticised loads for her figure.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the other tennis players, because they might earn more money simply from modelling and those sort of things,
they would limit themselves.
They wouldn't let themselves get more muscular or stronger. Now, hopefully that trend is dying out, because I think now we're kind of, as a culture, appreciating women's sports more and more. But that to me is like, it's just really sad that a mother might say to a daughter, well, like, you're going to get really bulky and you're going to start looking like a man. You're going to start eating like a man. Like the eating thing. So what you're saying is, because you're exercising, your body's going to respond to that exercise in a normal way, which is hunger.
Yeah.
And that is eating like a man, which basically means you're listening to your body is eating like a man. And that to me just was like, it was just like, that's where a generation of girls stopped doing sports.
Absolutely. And, you know, then think of everyone watching that show. That's the target audience of that show is women, you know, like who are all internalizing that stuff, you know.
Yeah. And possibly mothers as well,
Totally.
their daughters. And
you know,
and you know that thing of like daughter as well, like, you know, that whole tomboy thing, which I always hated that phrase, because I'm just like, some girls just, I don't know, like play sports, and some girls like to be in shorts. I don't know if it's a tomboy thing, but then seeing that as somehow a failure to your femininity, that you might have your hair scraped back or be in shorts.
And also how modeling is seen as like the ultimate. It's like, you know, being, say, thin or being having a six pack being what everyone should have as their ultimate goal. Modeling being the highest level of the tower that you're climbing. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, for who? Like, for whom? And
actually, the fact that it's not a six pack, it's not really being healthy, it's just being the thinnest you can be. It's really scary.
And punishing yourself, guilting yourself, creating bad relationships with your with food, with your body, with your family, you know. Again, to what end? Like, so some dude can look at this photo of a model and go, yeah, she's pretty hot. Anyway, like,
or that some woman's like, I think I might have that bag that she's holding.
Right. You know, it's like,
what life is this? What's the point of this life? I'm going to show you one more clip of Gigi trying to have a bit of birthday cake. And Yolanda is not having.
Oh. This is the hardest from being on our diet.
I have to have a bite for good luck, though.
But not too big. No, that's too big. The half of that. Gigi's in charge of her own diet, but to be on your best weight. You gotta make the right choices. This is you. You know what, Gigi? I think that's it. Yeah. I'll do this. How is it? I can't believe you just did that.
So good.
Like, I'd also just like to, like, that is hard to watch. Like, it's such a, I do feel a bit of like, you know, the reality TV kind of spin.
A bit of production
there,
thing,
you know, I do feel like it's like, okay, like, let's make sure we get the biggest, most colorful cake into this room and then put a camera on these two people. You know, it feels very kind of produced in that way, but it's not, you know, there's no smoke without fire. Like, you know, there's probably a lot of truth to that, but like, I would at the same time also like to extend like a lot of empathy to the mom as well, because what was it like for her? You know what I mean? What was it like for her being, you know, she seems like someone who might have been a model or something at some point. You know, what were the pressures that she faced in 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whenever she was kind of coming up? Like, she's probably just repeating the same kind of things that were kind of like, you know, brainwashed into her, you know, and that's so hard to undo, you know?
It's funny that you say that, because actually, you know, when I was doing the research into it, because, you know, you're like, oh, what's this trend? What's that mean? But actually, some of the TikTokers who've become like kind of big stars from doing Almond Mom videos or like sketches and stuff also kind of said the same thing. So I'm just going to say on TikTok, right, Almond Mom has over 189 million views. That's from an article from 2023. 189 million
That's
views.
almost as many episodes as Dr. Oz made over 9 years.
Just about weight loss. With creators spoofing the values of the Almond Mom while being frank about what it's like to be raised by someone who worships at the altar of thinness. Tyler Bender, 20, is one of the TikTokers going viral with their Almond Mom videos. An Almond Mom, Bender explained, is overbearing about what the daughter eats, and that's very specific about the almond moms that are being talked about. Really, I don't see many videos by boys or
men.
Oh,
if it's a boy, he's got a great appetite. He's grown fast. Look at him out there playing volleyball with his humongous shoulders.
Exactly.
You know?
Bender went on to say she's obsessed with food and diet culture. In one video, Bender posed as an almond mom, asked her child if she's really hungry or just bored. In another, she sets out Halloween candy, then slaps away a hand grabbing for some. This is a decoration, she snaps. Bender, who has over 143,000 followers, was surprised by the success of her videos. She says, I didn't know so many people were dealing with this and could relate. And before you ask, yes, she was raised by an almond mom and her mum has seen the videos. Bender says she's a very good sport about it, noting that much of the content in her videos is made up, and not plucked directly from her childhood. She tries to find the delicate balance of critiquing the society that created the almond mom without scorching the mothers themselves.
And mom shaming in the process, because I'm sure there's a lot of that happening in the comments and all.
She said, think about the way they were raised, she explained. The Special K diet, the heroin chic aesthetic and the fad diets. Some of our mothers were on speed diet pills in the 90s. Oh. Now, obviously, that might be a more American thing. I didn't hear about speed diet pills in the 90s in Ireland, to be honest. But the Special K diet, heroin chic, I remember that so clearly growing up in the 90s. And that was when my mum would have been kind of in her 40s, really specific time. So I think it is that thing where the almond mom thing is so specific to a mum, but so specific to a mother and daughter relationship.
Yeah.
And there's something so sad about it. And I don't know, I can't talk for men because there are guys out there, and I don't think it's spoken about enough, fat shaming for men and, or relationships that men might have in boyhood if they were bigger with their parents, fathers, sons, you never know. I don't know anything about that. The mother-daughter one is so specific, and the fact that it's so popular means that a lot of people have gone through this.
Oh, definitely.
And I don't think it actually even has that much to do with size sometimes because if you look at Gigi Hadid, yes, she's a model and that's a very specific career. But I think a lot of thin people grew up with mothers who were watching exactly what they were eating and commenting on it. And what brought me about some of those scenes, I know they're very produced, but was the tension. And it brought me back to that time when when I was growing up, and I'm not even talking specifically about my parents, but just being a fat child and fat teenager. Now I don't care as much because I'm an adult and I've learned a lot. But how much you were aware of people watching you eat and watching what you were eating.
Oh, definitely.
And there's nothing more upsetting than when in your own safe space at home,
I know,
that's being watched.
Yeah.
That's actually when it's, to me, the most devastating. As an adult, that's where the freedom comes from, where it's I'm not, no one else can judge me for what I'm eating at home. I'm in a safe space that I've created myself. I'm lucky. But when you were growing up, because everyone commented on the fact that I was a fat child, it was noted everything I was eating at family functions, at parties. It was just, even if I was eating the same as the other kids, I'm the fat kid. So,
and that leads to so many behaviors in adulthood. It's why people tend to binge and emotional eat on those kind of restricted childhood foods, cakes and soft kind of sweet things like that, because those are the things that were kind of forbidden when you were a kid. But now you're an adult, you have your own money, you can eat ice cream for breakfast if you want, but because there was that sort of past with so much restriction, it can make it, and I know I can speak from personal experience, it can lead to those kind of binges and obsessions and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And it's this, I know for myself, binging and even, I'll admit, purging at times, it can be a stress relief. And I'm trying to work on that because I'm why is that the case where I get really tense and stressed and I'll binge? What's going on there? But I know it's because that's how you had to do it in order to get any release as a kid. You were right, I've got to run and do this.
Do it in secret.
So no one will see and judge me.
Yeah.
And the almond mom thing is just that it's in your home, and that's so invasive.
Yeah.
And again, I feel sorry for any woman like this as well, because some of the videos that were coming out of the almond mums, if you look them up, it's just a family sitting around at a restaurant and all the men are eating lovely, warm filling lasagnas and pizzas and maybe lovely chicken and parma, whatever. And the mums there with a fucking salad. And they're oh, this is maybe a nice family meal out. And the mum is watching what her daughters are ordering.
Absolutely. And it's disguised as caring and love. And, I do think that there is kind of I don't know if it's a fine line, but it's it's coming from a place of, oh, I'm trying to look out for you.
Yeah.
But the way I've been conditioned to think, you know, keeping you safe and looking out for you is around controlling food and fat shaming and all that. And I do think that, you know, this topic does actually feed somewhat interestingly and nicely into the Jeanette McCurdy book, I'm Glad My Mom Died, which obviously we don't have time to go into now, but
we'll cover another day.
We'll cover that another time, because like that's sort of that behavior to the absolute extreme.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's some experts have kind of talked about this video that Yolanda Hadid was in. Dr. Carla Lessler, a paediatrician and childhood obesity expert, pointed out that Yolanda was also filmed shaming Gigi for wanting to indulge in her birthday cake. Lester states that an almond mom is a person who's usually stuck in diet culture and grew up hearing the phrases, a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips, and you're not hungry, you're bored. She says the almond mom phenomenon is rooted in fat phobia and internalized bias. She projects her own fears onto her children, and in doing so, teaches them that she doesn't accept them unless they are at a weight that may be unattainable. Parenting and youth development expert Dr. Deborah Gilboa agrees with Lester's assessment. She says there's this belief that our body shape is a reflection of our character, of our strength of will and our motivation to be healthy. A lot of parents are taking that idea one step further and feel that their kids' body shape is a referendum on their parenting. None of this is true.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Fad Camp. As always, we want to thank our producer Darren Lee. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to review us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Great ratings and reviews really help more people find the show, and it would mean a lot to us.
Make sure to share the episodes with friends and family or on your social media. Every listen helps.
And we absolutely love hearing from our listeners, so please get in touch with any of your diet stories on fadcamppodcast@gmail.com.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with Head Stuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.